Hi, I'm with Group 5 Code Blooded, and this is our private video. This is how to access our repo. We have a link to our GitHub repo, which you can um, copy and make a copy to your remote repository. And it's pretty easily um, organized. So the main structure is we have a source folder with our source code, and it's under the K-pop demo folder. And this is our main application directory. And then inside this folder, we have index.html, which is right here. And this is our main game interface with card summoning and mini games. And then in collection.html, this houses the collection management system. And then decoration HTML houses the card decoration and customization. And then if you see, we have the CSS and JS JavaScript in separate folders. So I'll go over the JavaScript first. So this contains quite a few files. So app, card, and decoration JS. I mean, the files are pretty much named like according to what they do in our project. So app.js maintains is the main application logic, and then card.js is the card management system. Pack.js is pack opening mechanics. Decoration.js is the decoration mechanics, and then Lucky Dice, Rock, Paper, Scissors, RPS, and Tic-Tac-Toe Game are all of the files that contain the logic for each one of the respective minigames. And then the minigames tab changes minigames. And then if we go back, we can also go to CSS, and it has the decoration CSS and the main CSS for like the main website. Now, if we go to assets, this is where all of our cards and stickers can basically found. This houses card images and UI assets. So if you go here, you can see that they're organized by group and by member too, which allows us to have several different images per member. And then if you go to stickers, you can also see that there's just more stickers. There's a lot of stickers. Would have liked to add more. And then, yeah, there's a card selection. This is the temporary placeholder. And there's also a trash can asset. Briefly gonna go over our organization for the rest of the repo. So in admin, it's just mostly stuff for the pipeline, branding, ADRs, and stuff that were done for other parts of the group project that were required by the course. And this also houses requirements for the project, which has more ADRs, but these are the more serious ADRs, some brainstorming, pitch, and templates for other required assignments for this project. And then finally, we have meetings, which houses our meeting notes, and they're organized into sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4, and then stand-ups. Okay, so let's say we wanted to make a change in our code repo. So I would first, I'm going to make a new branch, and that's going to call this private video demo. Okay, so now that we're on this branch, let's say I just want to change some random thing in here. Let's say um, I'm going to change RM's name to Rap Monster. I'm going to save these changes and then create a commit. And I'm going to stage these changes and then say with this and publish the branch. Now I can go back to the GitHub repo, and as you can see, private video demo how to push. So now we'd go to compare and pull request, updated Rap Monsters name. Okay, create pull request. So let's see. As you can see, we have 2 reviews required, and I can add these reviewers here. Let's say, for example, I want to add Jonathan, add request to change here. Yes, we have 2 checks right here in progress, and let's see what they say. So they were both successful. So now I would just have to wait for somebody to approve my pull request. So our agile process honestly was pretty okay. I'd say it was decent, and I think as a group we learned a lot. Our first sprint was definitely rough. We had a lot of solo programming and issues weren't really well organized. There was no clear hierarchy of issues, and we didn't really use sub-issues too much. So it was unclear what needed to be completed first, and there was no really structure. Everyone was just free for all. However, in the second sprint, we did a lot better due to that first sprint retrospective. We implemented the stand-ups every other day at 8 p.m. and GitHub issues were more better implemented. We had sub issues and we ensured that we used like closing the issues and that we tagged them when we were making a pull request. We were still doing mostly solo programming at this point, but in general, we had improved a little bit in terms of organization. The third and fourth sprint were definitely the best as a group. I think more people realized that soloing wasn't really the best for our group as we had a lot of disparities in commitment and experience. We began pair programming if possible, or updating and communicating with each other a lot more via Slack or during class. In general, I think the reviews and retrospectives were really helpful, but we didn't have enough sprints to fully implement all the changes that we wanted to see as a team. It was really hard to find a time that worked for everyone. And initially we tried using when to meet or trying to find a time that worked for everybody in order to sync up, but it was actually impossible. One to two people were always busy at times that worked for everyone else. Like it's just there was no overlap in free time. So because of this, there was a lot of different commitment levels and availability to work on this project. It was pretty difficult to have to wait for team members to finish their work if we wanted to move on, since there was a lot of code dependencies. But at the same time, we wanted to give everybody a chance to work on the project. So I think that was one of our main issues with the agile process. If we wanted to implement some more things for the agile process, I think be more aware of people's commitment levels. And as I said in our public video, have internal deadlines for certain tasks because the sprint was a whole week long, but sometimes there were small tasks that needed to be done and they wouldn't be done until the end of the week. So people working on the rest of the feature couldn't really advance if the small part wasn't done yet. We're definitely lacking on unit tests and E2E tests now that all the minor details regarding the major systems are set in stone. Throughout the process, we had a hard time trying to figure out what specifics we wanted, which made it difficult to put any tests regarding those specific features. If we changed anything, those tests would have prevented it. For example, the summon and pull system was a little bit undecided. We were definitely debating on whether it should be a single card pool or multiple just because of how many cards we had in the database. And we also have a few minor bugs in our project that can be fixed. When we put stickers onto the card, it kind of messes up the collection version or the screenshot version. And then there's also a few styling issues and centering issues on the navigation button. And also, we definitely want to add more options in the decoration page, which could include rotating stickers, resizing stickers, and more stickers or frames for the cards. And the background music, which wasn't really shown in the video, but there is background music. It refreshes every time when you go to a different page. So, for example, when moving to the main page or decoration page, it doesn't save your audio level that you had selected before. And also, I think we'd also implement a preloading all images, like a loading screen, before allowing users to pull, because sometimes the cards show up empty or are loading while you're pulling the cards. And another feature we might implement is making the card rarity more obvious, as the border is a small indicator of the rarity, but maybe we would have some fancy pull animations or card borders that would definitely better signal what rarity the card has.